Welcome to the XYZ podcast. I'm Millennial Producer Tony, joined as always with Gen X Brian.
Hello, everybody.
And Gen Z Winston.
What it do?
Are you bringing back the what it do?
Yeah, I have to bring back the what it do.
I thought you said it's no
It's
what
a
it
special
do
occasion.
Yeah.
I was going to start us by going, this is a very special episode
It
of the
is.
XYZ
It
podcast.
is.
We're here to talk about AIDS. No.
And touch.
And it's your job to figure out who has it.
That's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. This is
See, now Brian can actually do the dramatic effect of walking.
Yeah.
with my microphone catching
If
and
you're
everything.
only listening to this, then
You're missing
continue
out.
to listen to it and then go watch it, because this is episode 50.
50 of them.
And we have decided to finally do an all-together in-person podcast. We are not at our respective homes. We're all together. We're all at Winston's.
This is what you guys look like.
Oh, thanks.
It's nice meeting you guys.
This guy's patient? Like, what the...
Brian turns his camera view off and our camera views off. He just puts a window up in
Yeah,
front.
that's it. He's watching YouTubes in the background every time we do it.
Oh, man, this is a whole different story.
Yeah.
I got no beverage here.
Yeah,
I've got,
Oh,
no
man.
alcohol because Brian have to drive afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't want him getting a
well,
DUI.
and it's a little bit early in the morning. Or,
It's
yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
actual
Afternoon.
real Saturday morning episode, man. We should
Kinda.
have had our cereals, and we should have had
Pajamas? I could have come in
Power Rangers.
pajamas. But Brian, you were just recently sick, so this recording. I'm gonna pull back the curtain. This recording kept getting delayed.
And we blame him.
But my dad said that maybe you weren't drinking enough. Maybe
Yeah.
if you purified your entire system with alcohol, maybe that wouldn't
See,
have happened.
this is the detrimental effects of dry January. Is I got
he's like,
sick.
Your immune
Norm-
system went down.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
He's like,
Man.
Norm's sort of fading. So
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it was bad. It
Yeah.
was the flu. So wash your hands, drink plenty of water, because it was unlike anything. I told you guys, it beat COVID. Like, it was worse than COVID. My hair follicles were sore every
Oh,
single
jeez.
But anyway, we're here a week later.
we got
episode
it.
50.
It should be out in time. Don't worry about it.
To be fair, it was also the weather has been really weird recently too. So it's like we don't blame you for getting sick, Brian. But it's
No,
just
yeah,
like-
Georgia gets this like weird false spring
Yeah.
every year, so it's like
Well, there's
it's
great
going to be
delineations.
70 today. That's why I'm wearing shorts. It's like the lows in the 60s,
Yeah.
and guaranteed by the end of the month or in March it'll be real cold again.
Yeah,
Right.
I love it. What are they? They have the spring of deception. Then we have the pollinating.
Yeah.
Now, so when
No,
you,
that's coming up. Yeah.
So when you moved down, nobody told me about the pollinating. So
Nope.
yeah, when I
Wait,
moved
was
down
that
here,
that's only a Georgia thing? I
Yes.
thought that's everywhere.
no,
There's
Oh,
so
shit.
much. Is it the pine trees or the cedar trees?
all of them, oak,
Oh.
sweet gums, all of the trees release a pollen, and nobody told me, and I guess you either,
No.
that suddenly you just start seeing a powdering over your car,
Right, right,
yellow,
right.
and
Yeah.
then I mean just.
It's you go outside and the trees have cummed everywhere.
Yeah, literally. So
Everywhere, it's
I'll say
gross.
this: in Vietnam, that's not a thing. So like, imagine my shock the first time I ever seen like pollen. I'm like, it smelled like piss. Like it smelled very
Oh,
weird.
you can smell it.
Yeah, you.
There's
yeah, 'cause
certain-
you
Now
guys are
mine,
so
mine
soft.
just blocks me up. I can't
Yeah,
smell
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, there's a certain tree called, they nicknamed, my wife told me this because we had one down the street from us, a cum tree.
Okay.
Because when
I make the joke, but I was right.
yes, but I was like, what are you talking about? And like this particular tree has a very distinct smell.
It's like kicking
Yeah.
one of those mushrooms and all the spores come out. And
Yeah.
That's basically what it looks like.
Yeah.
But,
But-
yes, they didn't have that in Florida.
Really?
Didn't have it in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Didn't have
I-
it in Vietnam, so it's only Georgia.
It's just this. I mean, it's great because
Yeah.
everything's green and blue. But when I moved here and it started raining, and then you just see this yellow river.
yeah.
snaking through the
It's
parking lot, so-
disgusting, man.
Yep.
But yes, that I recently saw that referred to as the pollinating. So
Yeah.
whenever that happens, and then spring of deception, false spring, all of the things. We are in a spring of deception right now.
Yeah.
But it's nice out. It's nice out.
While we're talking about this, it's a perfect segue because it's on my list of things that I wrote down. I've been trying to keep better track of like, well, that was freaking weird. Let me write that
Yeah.
down. I went to an H Mart the other day. And
H Mart, just so I don't know if they have them everywhere, but
Yeah, we
it's
should
an
probably
Asian-
explain it,
It's an
right?
Asian grocery
It's
store.
a
Asian grocery
it's
store.
Korean grocery store. It's really big. It's like
It's a big chain.
Yeah, it's a big chain. I would say it's more like a Kroger or a Publix.
Like an Asian Kroger.
Yeah, like an Asian
But
Kroger.
it has like a food court in it.
Yes, they do have a
An
food
Asian
court,
food
which is
court, which is
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You
We
want
all
Korean,
went
you
there
want-
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
You want Korean
that's
food,
why I was-
Japanese food, you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
awesome. They have everything.
That's why I was going. Irrelevant to the story. I walked in and I was like, it's going to be a while. Let me hit the bathroom real quick. And I go in there.
It's like it's Barnes and
It's
Noble.
he smelled the produce and had to go to the bathroom.
No, just had to pee. Went in there, 2 urinals. There's this guy, looks like he's some sort of laborer.
Uh-huh.
He's standing there when I get in. I go to the open space next to him.
Yeah.
Do
Wait, was he
my
the bathroom attendant? Or?
Nope, no, boy. He's just moving
What
the whole time. Like, I'm
no.
standing there peeing, and I'm just like, what is this guy doing?
Trying to
Like,
write his name?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
no,
but
literally.
it was constant movement, and then I went and washed my hands and left, and he was finishing up, but I'm just like,
Finishing up what?
exact.
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
was wondering. I'm like, is this guy doing what I think he's doing? Now,
He's
it
just
didn't
yanking
seem
it.
rigorous enough to me, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like, are you trying to milk the urine out of you over there? Like, I was so disturbed. I'm like, I gotta hurry up. I gotta hurry up and get this done and go because I can't anymore. It was.
You're
I was-
starting over the story of that, huh?
Yeah.
Was he not, was he an
What a
old guy?
start,
Maybe he's
Well, yeah, I was
old.
gonna say, was it?
Ripping.
Yeah.
He was not old. He looked like he was between our age.
He has a prostate issue. You
So,
have to
yeah,
massage it.
would.
Yeah, maybe he's got, you know.
He could, but I'm just like, maybe go in the
Go-
stall
go
for
in the
that.
stall,
Don't
yeah.
you shouldn't be out in the open doing this because somebody like me could see you, and now I've got a story.
Did
Yeah.
you have the stall in between? The,
Yes,
the
there,
spacer
listen.
stall?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
I wasn't trying to see what was going on.
Yeah.
I wasn't that curious. I was just like, this guy is moving way too much
Yeah.
to do what he needs to be doing. I
Like,
think.
what the shit?
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, push this out of me and go wash my hands and leave
Yeah.
because I don't want to be
man.
here.
So awkward, yeah. No, that's like, at first I asked, I was like, what if he was a bathroom attendant? Because I was going to make the joke like, oh, can I shake that for you, sir?
You need a hand?
GH mark, you know, like this
Do you
place-
need a hand? Yeah.
You need a hand, sir? But no, that's he's probably just have a prostate thing. But like you said, he should have took it inside a stall.
Wait till you round the corner on 40, Tony.
No,
Great.
what I was gonna say what would have made the story 100 times funnier was like you guys know the saloon urinal where it's just like a giant like
I like to
metal
refer
trough?
to this as the whiz trough.
Yeah,
yes, that's,
yeah.
yeah.
Now that would be funny because you could literally just look over and seeing this guy shake the whole time. That would be hilarious. Now,
Well,
you're not
those
trying to
are
look at his
often
PV,
awkward
but-
because
Don't
they're
look
usually
straight
yeah.
ahead, man.
Those
You
are
go
usually
straight ahead
set
with
up
your-
in
Yeah.
situations where it's like, hey, there's a tent and it's just the trough inside, and you've got like a hose with holes poked in
Yes,
it that's
yes,
constantly
yes,
running
yeah,
water, and maybe
a plastic
blocks of
PVC
ice,
pipe, yeah.
maybe blocks of ice in there to
Yep,
help with the
that's it.
smell. But that also means that both lanes are open, and it's just like,
Yeah, that's it.
first of all, standing that close without a divider. is
Wait,
weird.
you're
And
talking
then-
about you have got both sides?
You've never seen
You've
that?
never
Oh.
seen the saloon like
And I'm just like,
urinal?
I don't. Yeah,
It's like a half. It's like a half metal, like
I
a
have,
metal
but
tube.
they've always been up against a wall, so
Yeah, well-
it's a single file line. Like,
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't.
so you're standing across. Is there a splash guard?
Wait. You're saying there's somebody like across
There
from you?
very
I've
well
never
could
seen
be.
That. That's crazy. You're making direct eye contact while pissing is insane.
Or instead, I'm just like, I look
down.
a few degrees up from what I'm taking care of business at, and then I'm looking at somebody else's business.
But that's the thing is, there's no guarantee the other guy's not looking at you. Do your
Or
business.
trying to piss on you.
Where is this?
I don't know. This is the thing that's just going. I've seen them
Abilene,
against.
Texas, right?
For some reason, my mind does go. That seems like a Texas football
Yeah.
thing.
and whiz
Yeah,
troughs,
that's
man.
it,
That's-
yeah.
I don't know that I've ever experienced it, but something in my mind, like I can picture this setup, and it's
Yeah.
not a
Well,
coincidence.
if you
I
haven't
don't
experienced
feel.
it, then I'm not sure. So all the ones I've had two.
I could be making it up.
yeah.
I could be making
lying.
it. It's, my brain's keep, creating strange fantasies that I don't like.
Right. That's so funny.
It's somebody's fantasy. It's not mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, two places in my life. The first one I remember was Soldier Field in Chicago. going to a Bears game. That was
Not
old
Bears.
stadium makes sense.
yeah, and I mean they may have upgraded him, but I remember as a kid, I'm like, this is weird, right? All these dudes like
Yeah.
were standing and just peeing into a thing that's like slightly tilted, so it all goes down.
It was a different time, bro.
Yeah, and then the other one was here in Atlanta. And in fact,
Really?
the first bar that I went to in Buckhead called Hole in the Wall. Yes,
It's a glory hole.
Exactly what I thought. I just went, Brian's at a very specific kind of bar.
No, this is perfect for this camera setup because then we have two different angles. Me and Tony both like eyes widening and looking at each other like, oh my god.
It gets weirder. It gets weirder. It's Hole in the Wall.
Continue then.
And,
Yeah.
no, it's Moon Dogs. Moon
Oh,
Dogs.
okay.
Well, there's a place called.
There's also a hole in the
There's
wall.
also a hole in the wall.
It's right next. So when you go in the front, it says
Yeah.
it says Moon Dogs. When you go to the bathroom, it says Horn Dogs. You go, don't know.
And then around back is the manhole.
Yeah,
It's,
that's it.
But no, in this bar, which is the first bar I went to when I got to Atlanta, and you go into the bathroom because you got to pee, you're drinking. It's a whiz trough, but not only is there a whiz trough, on the ceiling are a bunch of shellacked Playboy centerfolds from like the 1980s.
Oh my god.
That's the last thing you need
Judging by the
happening while you're trying to
hairstyles, it was
relieve
the
yourself.
1980s.
But it
Or
then
really-
distract you though, because then you're looking
So
up
you're
the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess that's it.
I guess it prevents you from looking down
Yeah,
at anybody
but
else.
Yeah.
If you're elbow to elbow, man, you need to make sure you're not
That's
crossing
true.
the streams, man.
Yeah.
But yes, in Buckhead.
so funny.
Yeah, those are my two.
Winston
whiz trough-
doesn't get that reference because he still hasn't seen Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. Yeah. Oh, it's right behind there, by the way.
All right,
I gotta
that's
get it.
We're gonna pause now. We're gonna watch Ghostbusters. All of it, Give
come back an hour
commentary.
later. Yeah. But
Boy, oh
that's,
boy.
that's pretty funny. No, so that type of urinal is super common in Asia, especially in school. So when I was growing up in elementary school and middle school, that's the urinal we had. It was either that, and we didn't have the actual urinal with the little handle and the
Right.
camera that record your dick information, but like the automated
the
one.
autoflush?
Yeah. I always make the joke it's like camera that's record your dick information, but yeah, so it's like a urinal, and then it's always like a plastic PVC pipe running through, and they poke holes through it, so it's like coming out, you
Yeah.
know, like. But then you turn to the toilet, and we don't have like actual like seated toilet like the ones we have over
have
here in the
squat
US.
toilets.
We have squat toilets. Have you ever heard of these like squat toilets?
Yes, and
It's-
not until much later in life. Did
Listen,
I learn
man,
about those.
there's no auto flush system. There's a hose and a bucket next to you, and every time you finish, you gotta grab the bucket and dump it in. And that's how like you create enough force of water to wash everything down.
Is there
Awful.
doors to the stalls?
Yes, there are
Okay.
doors.
Okay.
Now, do they stay on all the time? No, because fucking kids, you know, like
Oh, it's
we're-
kids. You're either hanging on them or kicking them in.
Yes.
You're requiring your own squatting abilities.
Yeah, man. Everybody have amazing quads over
That's
there.
why
It's-
there's no
yeah.
fat people. They would not
Yeah.
be able to use
They
the
have
bath.
to exercise by necessity.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
Here's another question. You face the door. You
You
back
face
to
the door. You face the door.
Okay.
If you back it, well, you can take it either way, but it's just.
That's what I know. You could.
But if you your back is to the door, you're too vulnerable.
That's another sign that says
Yeah.
doggy style.
Yeah. Exactly.
Moon dogs,
yeah.
horn dogs, doggy
Doggy
style.
Yeah, that's
the-
it.
Yeah.
But so there's that. But then there's another thing where, so my dad explained this to me back in the northern region of Vietnam where his family is from. They don't have an actual toilet built. So what they have is like sort of like a little swamp / creek area in the back, and they have this thing called a fish bridge, and essentially it's two like cement like sticks that going out, and then they built a little wooden box around it, and you're squatting, but there's an empty spot in the middle, so when you poop, it falls directly into this little pond, and all the fish eats it. So it's literally a real thing. It's called cao ca, which is fish bridge, as how you translate.
Does anybody eat that fish?
I don't know. That's a
no,
good question. I hope
hopefully not.
Yeah,
It just,
hope not.
this
I
is
thought
just
catfish were bad, man. You know,
this
like
is like a koi pond and cesspool mixed
yeah,
together.
yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy, man. But that's a real thing over there. So like, you really do have to exercise necessity, because dude, you're gonna walk the plank all the way out there first of all, and then once you're there, you're gonna have to like reposition yourself, because I mean, again, it's two sticks, so you have to like flip your body somehow, right?
This only works because Vietnam's so hot. Because if that bridge ices,
Oh yeah, you're swimming with it, man.
you are literally in probably some deep shit.
Yeah.
So So, okay, like, so if, say, Winston's visiting the what?
What do you mean?
What's the shit shed called?
Oh, the fish bridge.
Yeah, the fish bridge. Right.
Yeah.
So if you're visiting and Tony and I are like, hey man, there's something dropping out of that. Like, can you see it dropping? For
1,000%. There's no tube going down. There's four sides that blocking where you're sitting, so it covers you.
Right.
But it's only but like if you're sitting down or you're bending or you're squatting in this case, it only covers up to here. So like if you walk from the house all the way to the back, you'll just see half of my head poking out, and you just assume that I'm taking a shit back there.
How close is this to the house? Is like
I would say relatively close. Yeah.
This needs to be a minimum of 30 to 50 yards away. And what they need to do is you need a little flagpole. So that when you go in, even maybe pressure sensitive, that as you go in, the floor goes down a little bit, raises the flag to let everybody else know, don't come within 30 to 50 yards of this.
They're pooping over a lake, man. Do you think they're going to have high-tech police systems for flags?
Listen,
there's
I'm
no smell, man.
throwing
You're
out
outdoor.
ideas.
It mixed with the outdoor smell, so you don't know what smell it is.
Well, apparently the outdoor smell in Vietnam is poop.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
I didn't realize today's topic was Asian plumbing situation.
Yeah, man.
Like, H-marks.
We talked a lot about poop and pee for the last 15 minutes. Yeah.
So we live relatively close-ish to each other.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I'm getting into like that paranoid old guy phase, which is entirely possible. I kid you not. I've not told you about this. The last 4 nights in a row, I've walked outside, and there's been a freaking drone flying through my neighborhood.
Oh, it must have been me. No, I'm getting.
Now, remember months ago, like all those drones were appearing over New Jersey?
Yeah. Well, those are ginormous, and they're like army tech, right?
This was a fairly decent-sized drone.
Oh, really?
Like it was not just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the fact that I saw it one night, and then, well, the first night I walk out, I'm taking out the garbage, and I look, and I see like a green light, and I'm like zipping along, and it's pretty low. It's like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet over the road.
Right.
Zipping through. Next night, different space, zipping on by. I've seen 4 nights in a row I've seen drones, and I'm like, I'm getting paranoid, and I'm like telling my daughter, and she's like, I've got nothing to hide. I'm like, that's not the point, man. It's the fact that like
it's a privacy
there's
thing.
already so much privacy taken away from us. The one safe space we have is our homes. We don't need drones flying around there.
So I don't know if it's.
Did you guys ever figure out like? I feel like you should track it down, right? Just follow wherever it goes.
You should either track it down or get a BB gun.
Yeah,
that's what that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, could I hit this with a BB gun
and not hit somebody else or their house?
I mean, I live close-ish to an airport, so you really should not be flying drones around there.
Well, see, that's the thing. I've been flying a drone recently, and like it's weird when you get a drone and you're starting it up. So I started up locally around here, and we're near the airport, the little local airport. So when you start it up, it'll fly for about 90 seconds before a pop-up that comes up and said, hey, you're like in aircraft space, so we're going to auto-land this thing in the next 90 seconds because you're not allowed to. But what had happened was literally, and this is super recent, about 2 weeks ago, DJI, the company that makes most of the drones that we fly around here in the U.S., had put up an update that said, we're going to go ahead and remove that. You're going to have to just fly with your own precautions. It's not up to us anymore. You choose what you want. Because, like, they don't want to lose out on the money that, you're buying a $300 drone so you can't fly it because they auto-lock that zone.
Yeah, but...
So,
I don't think that's great
all it takes is literally a firmware update, and I was able to get it up in the air.
Go ahead, tell somebody they can't do it. They figure out how to get around it. Oh, man.
Yeah, so originally... that wouldn't have been a thing, but within the last update of the last 2 weeks or whatever, I think that's why you're seeing a drone around your house now. Yeah, so some kid probably figured it out and is just flying it around. But yeah, man, I do think you should follow it.
Hey, listen, if it's at night, shoot it down.
It is at night, yeah.
Yeah, how are they going to know it's
every night? And the fact that so night 3 and then night 4, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to freak out because it's like it's almost as if it's like running a grid.
But who's flying a drone in the middle of the night? It's not like you can see.
It's like 8, 9 o'clock.
Get a
That's
BB
dark
gun.
though.
Yeah.
You can't see anything.
Dark. Yeah.
So
get a BB gun. Get an airsoft gun.
Yeah.
Those are probably safer. You're not gonna break somebody's window.
I've got one. I just if I'm like doing that though, that BB's got to go down somewhere else too. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Well, if you're using plastic pellets in an airsoft gun, you're not gonna.
No, I'm using BBs in a BB gun.
I'm just going. the precaution of where it's shooting, you don't have to worry about where it's landing if it's plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably still propelled well enough to take out a drone propeller, but not break someone's window.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the total old man, like paranoid old man.
Yeah.
But my daughter didn't seem that bothered by it. Now, so it got me thinking. I'm like, okay, are kids that are born today that have constant surveillance?
Yeah. I think so.
Does that just let down the guard for additional surveillance for everything?
I think kids nowadays are more of the I mind my own business type. Like if I go outside right now and I see a drone flying by in my neighborhood, I would just be like, somebody must have a drone. Now if it was 8 o'clock at night, I would be like, that's weird. But I'm not gonna go, I feel some type of way about this. Like I'm not gonna be like you where I'm like, I'm gonna have to take a BB gun out and shoot it. You know what I mean?
I live in a neighborhood though. It's like it's
Yeah, I guess.
these are not kids flying. I mean, it might just be some dad on the
Yeah.
other side of the circle just cruising, but still,
Right.
it weirds me out.
Yeah.
Is it a thing where, like, we grew up in a time where we weren't so restricted privacy-wise, and that has slowly deteriorated?
Yeah, and
where
that's what I
as
see.
Maybe Winston
Yeah.
and your daughter are like, well, this is just where we've grown up in.
Right,
We've
yeah.
never had those freedoms.
Yeah.
they've already
They
been stripped from
surveillance
us.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's,
Like
it's
Ring
weird.
camera, man. Like think about Ring's camera. Like Ring camera is literally
Ring camera, traffic cameras,
Yes,
like you're
yeah.
being recorded.
I don't know if
often
you guys
now.
heard it earlier when you guys were coming in. Did you hear a camera that goes, "Hey, you're being recorded"? It has like an automated voice thing. Like, have you guys seen these cameras?
I heard something.
Yes.
One of my neighbors has one of those, and
Yeah.
it went off a few days ago. And I looked over. I'm like, "Who's over there?" It was a squirrel moving around.
Oh, that's
the camera
hilarious.
caught the squirrel.
Yeah.
So it's a motion sensor camera.
Yeah.
like a
And there's a
ring-
built-in speaker.
And then some voice says you're
Yeah.
being recorded.
Yeah.
It was a ring doorbell.
Oh, this is not a doorbell. This is like an actual camera that's
Okay.
attached on the back of
It
their
might
house.
be over there too. This
Yeah,
neighbor
keep
mine's
an
a
eye
tech
out
guy.
when you guys head out later. You'll probably hear it. It's near where you park your car.
I heard something and I
Yes.
looked around saying, "Who's talking to me?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what that was. It was like, hey, you're being recorded.
It's a
You're-
woman's voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it freaks me out because one time me and my roommate Josh, we were running around the neighborhood. We were doing like cardio. We got around there and it scared the
Like
shit.
you're running around the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
no, it scared the shit out of me when I
Yeah.
bent the corner and immediately heard, "Hey, you're being recorded." I'm like, "Oh God!" Like that scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I don't know.
So you hear that every time you come home from.
From work, yes, I've gotten used to it. But yes, I've heard that every day.
Oh man, paranoia.
Yeah.
Do you have a Ring camera?
I have a Ring doorbell. I have a Ring camera inside as well. I also have one of those Amazon shows. It's got the screen on it, but it has a camera.
So you can access it from your phone.
I can see the outside of my house. I can see like my driveway. I can see like the entire one side of my house because it's sort of split by stairs. So on the far end is one indoor camera, and the other, the Amazon, is my dining room and some of my kitchen.
Right.
So I can monitor almost my entire downstairs and the front of my house.
That's good. Yeah. So nobody breaking, entering into Tony's place and stealing all of his memorabilia.
No.
Yeah.
I've got a dog, so that
You could. I
I've got
could just-
cameras and a dog.
You could. I could just see who you were.
Yeah,
not be
exactly,
able
yeah.
to track you,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And then what does that do? You're like, it's AI. That's not me. That was created with AI.
Yeah.
That's not me.
No, that's it. That's hilarious.
We have a bit of a game. Do you want to get into that?
Oh,
and see
yeah,
if it,
yeah.
See if it gives us some
Is
more
this a
topics. to talk about?
sponsor?
This is not a sponsor. We got a.
thing?
I guess I can show off the box.
Yeah,
of it.
my niece got this for me and thought it would be funny based on the
Does
podcast.
she know that we have a podcast?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, and so she thought this was hilarious, and I started looking through the questions, and I'm like, these are good questions.
So I'm gonna show you this camera. It's a game called Mind the Gap. It's
Yeah.
a trivia game about different generations, and we went perfect. We
Yeah,
can we can use this for podcast topic fodder.
Well, let's just to see, yeah. We've got the Boomer, the Gen X, the Millennial, and then Gen Z.
I guess
the
we'll give.
boxes. Oh wait, where is it?
We've got an extra generation that we won't need. We won't need the Boomer one.
Yeah.
I'll give you the Gen X. I guess I'll give each of us the appropriate thing, and we can.
Wait, I thought you asked me these questions. That's awesome.
We should
I
probably
think it
read
would
the
be- it's a
rules,
It's a cassette
right?
tape.
I don't think we're not going to play the game. I just figured we go
Oh,
through
we
a
should read
card
it.
each and ask everybody else the questions. That way, maybe some of this stuff prompts some conversation. As well.
Oh, okay.
That's
Wait,
all.
I
Instead-
didn't realize this was a board game. I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
it was.
there's a
You
whole
answer the
thing.
questions, you move around a board.
Oh,
and
I didn't know
it's
that. Okay.
We're just
Well,
going straight for the questions.
Yeah.
Trivial
to see.
Pursuit S.
So you have a.
I've got
you've
millennial
got the
questions.
iPod. It's the iPod box.
Yeah,
And
I
then
figured I'll
yours-
ask the millennial questions because presumably, I should know them.
You should know them, and then Winston and I may or may not.
Okay.
All right.
There's some sort of categories. I don't care what they are.
We're playing the game, but not really.
This is perfect. This is right on brand.
Okay.
In what Ben Stiller film did Robert De Niro says, "I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?"
Is it Zoolander?
Nope.
Is it Meet the Parents or Meet the Fockers?
Meet the Parents. It's the
The first one, right? Is
Oh.
Meet the
Yeah.
Parents. Okay,
Oh.
there you go.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Did know of Meet the Fockers. Did not.
Is that the
watch Meet
sequel?
Yes.
I think
Hold
so.
on.
Okay.
Is it a sequel or a spinoff? It's either way.
We're back to
It
be
could-
like, oh yeah, I've seen
I
that.
saw that one.
Yeah, I've seen that somewhere.
You can follow up from last episode. Do
All
we
right.
want to each do a question and
All
then
right,
just
yeah,
go
let's
through
see
them?
here.
And...
Oh, this is okay. So this is funny. This is where the old guy has to get his glasses if I'm going to read anything.
We'll cut this.
We'll
Go
cut
ahead.
this.
Can you?
You gotta get his glasses, man.
Yeah, man, I can't see anything.
This is now a thing you go, Tony will fix this in post.
Yeah. Since
Great.
this is being cut, I want to read this one for you guys off camera. What American financier and convicted sex offender died in prison?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes. You mean Jeff Epstein, the New York financier? I love that clip, by the way. It's like it's getting repopularized. Yeah.
No idea. That
All
it's-
right. So
All right.
to have a seamless cut, I pull these out of nowhere.
Well, that'll be it now.
All right, so let's see here. Straight off of this one. All right. What popular sitcom starred Pam Dauber and Robin Williams, an alien visiting Boulder, Colorado? You know that one.
I do.
Wait, read it again.
What sitcom starred Robin Williams? That's all you need to know.
From the-
where he was an alien.
I don't watch
the 80s.
Robin. I don't watch Robin Williams. That
We
much.
watched it on our.
He was an iconic.
Intro. We
This
watched
was
it
an
on the TV
iconic
things.
show. Mork and Mindy.
Oh.
It was like
He
Robin
comes out of the
Williams'
giant
first
egg.
sitcom,
he's
yeah.
wearing
Yes,
rainbow
okay.
suspenders.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mork
now I
and Mork.
remember Mork and Mindy. He
Loved
has
that
the,
show as a
it's,
kid.
it's the rainbow one,
Yes.
right? Okay, yes, okay,
Nano,
I
nano.
remember now.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah, go next.
That's you.
It's my turn?
TV
Okay.
question at the topic must be TV and movies.
Okay, oh, this is a good one. What platform founded by two Swedish and launched in 2008 allow independent artists to publish their own music?
Talking SoundCloud.
SoundCloud or Bandcamp? Okay.
SoundCloud,
All right.
correct. Do I go
Sweet.
next? Do I
No,
do one
back
more
to
or is it
Tony.
back to Tony?
Oh, we want to. Okay.
Let's do one each, yeah.
Okay. Well, these look like game stuff here, or I don't know. They got symbols. We're not reading rules. If someone had a yellow rubber bracelet on their wrist, what most likely was written on it?
Oh,
Read it?
the disgrace.
I was reading. I was
He's got
reading
stuff in
it.
his hand.
Sorry, go ahead.
You might know this.
I
If
didn't-
somebody had a rubber yellow bracelet on their wrist, what
Oh, what
most
would Jesus
likely?
do, right?
No.
No.
What? A yellow rubber bracelet. What would it?
Those were now, to be
Live
fair,
Strong?
those yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've heard of
yeah.
this. I've seen it one
The
time as a kid.
WWJD ones were real popular, but they were
Yeah.
usually like woven.
There were
Oh,
all
were
sorts.
I've
Were they?
sworn
Yeah, they
I've
were
seen a
putting-
yellow rubber band WWJD
I'm
one.
sure.
Probably
there were.
those things
That
were
was-
all over,
yeah.
and then Live Strong was with
What was
who?
Livestrong?
Okay, it was Lance Armstrong.
Oh.
Was his like foundation, and everybody. I mean, what is
Everybody was behind it.
Was this big in like 2012, 13? something
way
like-
before then.
Really?
Well, because he got caught doping eventually.
Oh, that's right,
Like
that's
he
right.
kept winning everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
like, "Well, it's because his heart is 3 times, normal, bigger than the
Yeah,
normal
normal
person."
man, yeah.
And then they finally found out he was doping.
Well, it was
after-
bigger because he was doing all those drugs.
Yeah,
Does he have just one nut?
I think so. I
Oh,
think I don't know.
right,
If,
yeah.
because he had cancer, right?
I think he's just got one test.
He also
Yeah.
shake when he goes to the bathroom, in case you guys didn't know.
Extra so that it doesn't drip.
And see, WWJD bracelets, big thing, probably wouldn't have ever come naturally though.
What do you mean? Like
Without the card.
Oh,
These are-
yeah,
yeah,
I-
yeah,
This is what we're trying to use.
Yeah,
it
Those
for.
were everywhere, and then suddenly it was like, oh damn, you can't wear those anymore.
Well, to be fair, your generation would have been slap bracelets.
Slap bracelets,
bracelets are
actually, and
cool.
also just the like earlier than slap bracelets were just the rubber ones, and you could weave them, and they were kind of like what's the one with animals that we were talking about? The rubber bands that were animal
So
shaped.
that's what I was gonna say. You had slap bracelets. We had the rubber ones with, or the
the hell were
the
they?
You talking about
WWJD,
silly-
and
no.
then you had silly bands.
No, we didn't have silly bands. Is
Is
that
that
ours?
too
I thought that
early
was
for
yours.
I'm not claiming
No.
that.
Yeah.
He did.
The
They just
shaped
didn't have
rubber
they didn't
bands,
have them
people
in
would put them
Vietnam.
all up their wrists.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It is silly bands. Yeah. So that's more us than his, because the animal ones are the one you're talking about. That's our
that's you guys.
generation.
Now we had the
I thought slap bands would have been-
bead animals. So like after
like the one Brian had.
no, after Beanie Babies sort of dwindled, everyone's like, well, I still need like an animal thing. And I don't remember I don't know if you'd know from being in Vietnam or if you'd have any remembrance of it, but you'd take like, it was like a plastic cord and you'd put plastic beads of different colors and you'd weave them together and you'd have like, they were like pixelated stuff.
Oh yes.
And you
yes,
could
I
make
know that.
animals or whatever
yeah.
else with them. And if you know,
It's like plastic though, right?
it was like a plastic cord. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. It was big.
You're looking at me like
No,
I'm,
I
yeah,
don't remember
okay.
those.
No, it was
Somebody
big.
does, so
Yeah.
I feel.
Somebody
Yeah.
does, huh? All right. Let me do this one. Okay. This is a video game one, so you guys
Okay.
might know this.
Hopefully.
Long before Mario, there was Pong, which had to be played on this classic home console released in 1975.
Who you asking though?
The Room.
Oh, Atari, right?
Yes.
Atari.
Though, to be fair, I'm gonna push my. I'm the only one with no glasses.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna push them up my nose.
I know
and
where
go,
you're going with this.
Pong was its own console.
Yeah,
it didn't play originally on a different console. It was the console.
It
Yeah.
was, and then they had the game. Yes.
And then you could play it on Atari and ColecoVision.
Yeah.
And
My buddy in college had an original Pong
Did
set.
he?
Yeah. Which was funny because it was like you'd go over there and you had like you could just play like the
and I want to say that was like way late '60s. The original.
the
Pong
original
system.
one. So 1975. Oh, I guess this classic home console released in 1975 was the Atari. So
And that was after. I think that was after ColecoVision and a Commodore 64.
I don't even know what
all systems you could
ColecoVision
play
is.
Pong on before Atari.
That's crazy.
yeah, they had the code.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, my turn. Here's a good one. This is asking the room. This is a term used disparagingly by by the older generation. Individual Gen Z were known by what term, indicating they were all special and unique? I feel like that's not a very good definition of it.
We're
but-
talking snowflakes.
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you little snowflake.
Yeah.
Millennials were the snowflakes, right? Weren't those the
I
ones
thought
that were?
so. Yeah.
Originally, but
Yeah.
I feel like because we're so much more sensitive about things now, that
You guys
that's
are
why-
snowflakes
yeah.
too?
Yep, that's it. All right.
Brian should know that. So we got music questions next. If I could hold my card. This American boy band, formed in Orlando in 1995, had their first hit in 1998 with "I Want You Back."
Is it?
1998.
98, this song came out.
Is it not?
I Want You
NSYNC?
Back was yeah, it is in sync, but like that did they do the Jacksons 5? I Want You Back. Dun, 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 dun.
No,
I Want You Back.
I want you back.
See, I only know that it was NSYNC because your buddy was what's his name's brother.
Joey Fatone.
Yes,
Yes.
that's and I remember that story. That's why I remember. it.
Yes.
Yes.
Joey
Okay.
Fatone's brother and sister worked at Universal Studios.
And you hung out with them, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you met Joey Fatone
yes,
at the bar.
right
Yeah.
before NSYNC got huge.
So you
Which
have
is
the
crazy.
connection, but Winston knew the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Can't
All
believe it, Brian.
all right, is it? Let's see here. Oh, this
You guys are going through cards. I'm sticking with the same one. But
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these sucks. That's why.
Why? Because you don't know the answer, or
No, I
because-
do know the answer. It's just not good. Like,
Well,
Okay.
you don't know if
Ass.
one of us has got a story.
Here's
Yeah.
here's you know, it's this. Well, this is appropriate for this in the South.
Okay.
In 1977, what rock band's plane crash killed members Ronnie Van Zant and Steve Gaines?
I don't know that. That's crazy to me. I don't know that one.
Southern rock band. Not the Allman Brothers.
Not the only, yeah. I don't.
What's the only other big Southern rock band?
Leonard Skinner.
There you go, man.
Let me.
Yes, they're yeah.
I was gonna say it, but I didn't want to sound dumb. But
we can cut this. All right, Winston, what do you got for me?
Okay, I got. What was it called when a person sent a snap to another person to see if their messages were purposely being ignored?
Dick pics. What?
No, what? No. No. This is I feel like this is a hard one for you guys for sure. So
yeah, I get the concept, but I don't know the term.
it's called a snap trap.
Snap trap, huh?
Yeah. Don't really use that term realistically. I guess somebody out there was, but I didn't bother. If I was being ignored purposely, I'm just gonna not
So you'd
respond.
send somebody a Snapchat,
Yes.
and if they don't open it, it just sits there?
Yes, but the thing is, like, if you're messaging somebody and then you send a photo, to be able to check the message, they have to click through the photo first. So if they open a photo, that means, and they're not reading the text, that means you're being ignored. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't really do that. So
The hurdles that have to be jumped through
but
nowadays.
yes, every
Yeah.
time, man.
Who's still using Snapchat? Are people still using it?
I don't know. I'm 25, so I got
Yeah.
off of that.
You
Well, I got
definitely-
banned. Yeah.
Yeah, you're banned, but you're out of the demo too.
Yes,
If you
yes.
weren't banned
Yeah.
for selling
See,
drugs on
back
Snapchat.
in my day,
Yeah,
it used to
literally.
be like, oh, you couldn't call somebody because they were on the internet.
Yeah. See?
Yes, that's
Oh,
it.
man.
And
Mom,
they
get off the
couldn't
internet.
talk to you because you weren't at the house.
Yeah. Or if somebody was on the phone, they called and it was busy.
Yeah.
They got a busy tone, which was also a
When was the
possibility.
last time? That might be a relic of the past.
Busy
A
tones.
busy tone.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because then the advent of call waiting came. you
Call
know?
waiting, answering machines, and then cell phones, you just get put right to voicemail. There
Yeah.
is no busy signal anymore.
I've said this before, but I really feel like we should have prepped a list of like old phone numbers from like commercials from way back in the day when we should have used our Google number and called them.
8675309.
What's
you know what
that?
that is? Oh,
Jenny.
yeah, there you go.
It's what?
Tommy Two-Tone.
Yes, there was a song in the 80s
Oh,
called
yeah?
Jenny.
Yeah.
8675309, and they sung it over and over, which was
8675309.
Yep.
Can we call it?
well, I don't know what area code is now. Everything everything went to like when I lived in Orlando is when it went to 10-digit dialing. Before that, you didn't have to
Right,
dial,
right, right.
the area code. Now
Yeah.
Atlanta's got like 4 or 5 area codes now,
Yeah.
prefixes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a thing that continued on. So whenever you'd go to CVS or wherever, and they'd be like, "Oh, can we get your phone number for rewards?"
Yeah.
That's one of those numbers that so many people jokingly put in that if you need rewards points, there's probably points on that number.
That 869 number?
8675309.
But you don't have the area code in the front, so
No, you just pick an area code, and somebody's probably used
404
it.
Yeah.
8675309. That's Jenny.
that's
in
really
Atlanta.
funny. No, I'll tell this interesting story before we keep going on the game. But so one of my favorite K-pop group, LE SSERAFIM, has a song that came out called 1-800-HOT and Fun, and it's about going to parties and having fun. And
It's not a phone sex line.
yeah,
They-
it is a
they
phone
own the
sex
number?
line. That's literally it. So one of the singer decided to one of the singer in the group goes, "Whatever you guys do, don't call this number. Please just don't
They
call
didn't
this."
check it beforehand?
No, they did. This girl, she's American. They're all Korean except for this one girl. She's Korean
That's
born.
a manager's job.
Yeah.
That's a bad management.
Right. So she's an American-born Korean person, and she put up a tweet and goes, "Hey, you guys shouldn't call this number. Like, I'm begging you, please don't call this."
So,
and
of course, everybody-
their
yeah, that's-
fans call it, and somebody recorded a video, and sure enough, it's a phone sex line, and so like it played this automated message. It's like, "Are you ready to talk to the hottest girl in the country?" or something like that. And
Now,
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong. Those should be 900 numbers.
Yeah, 1-900 were like the pay.
800,
maybe late.
800 specifically. It's like when you saw old infomercials and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always like call toll free because it wasn't going to charge you for calling an 800 number.
Right.
A 900 number was a toll number.
Yeah, those were like.
Maybe it was a free line. You just get a free sex line. Who
Well,
knows?
clearly we're gonna call it as soon as we take a break.
But yeah, anyway, I just
That
thought
might
was
be a thing for the future. We do have a Google Voice number.
interesting. Yeah.
I haven't figured out the best use for it. It might
It would be
worth-
great if we can have fans call in. That would
It
be
might
super
be,
fun.
yeah. Do we put it at the end of episodes? Do
No, we put it right
on-
up front and see who calls us.
So
while
yeah,
we're
so
recording.
if we're doing
Right
an
up front,
episode,
see what
we
happens.
should
Who
put it.
knows,
We
man?
pin it into the chat, and then we'll just have chat call in.
Can I answer it on a computer, or do I have to answer
we'll
it through the
figure
app?
all of this.
Well, yeah,
We'll figure
we'll
this
figure
all
it
out.
out.
I guess that's my job.
But what we gotta do, right? What we gotta do is we gotta set up a payment system, like a donation box, so that every time they want to call us,
He
and
wants
you
to
want
make a 1-800 number or 1-900 number.
1-900 number, correct? And so we're gonna charge them $2 every time,
Whenever you call, Winston just goes, What are you wearing?
But in Vietnamese.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds exotic.
You got a deep voice, baby. That's sexy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's so funny.
Well, like the Wicked that came out, the toy, like on the back of one of the
Oh
toys.
yes. It led to a sex website.
Yeah.
Have you heard about
So
this?
somebody didn't check that out.
Yeah.
Same thing of like, who's, I don't know, man.
Because
So,
Wicked.com was
Yeah.
already owned.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
and so I mean, I'm back from the days of prank phone calls. I mean that that is a.
Oh, there were many times at schools where you would just go, all right, we're doing research on, this government something. It's just like, oh, whitehouse.com.
What? WhiteHouse.com is not.
Whitehouse.gov.
It's WhiteHouse.gov.
Is what it's supposed to be.
Whitehouse.com. Somebody had a really good idea.
I remember that. That was on the news. Like, parents be careful if you're starting, as you're starting to research stuff.
So
online.
it was just a porn site.
It was just naked women on the home screen, and I think audio.
Oh,
so
it's
as soon
loud.
as you went to it, it just started playing, and everybody knew you went to it.
I'm just glad that there was always a troll in history at some point.
Always.
So,
We
that's
get-
really good.
Did we get a music question from you?
No, but this is a super. That's too easy. But let's throw it out there anyway. What genre of alt rock was defined by wearing plaid and led by groups like Pearl Jam and Nirvana?
Oh, grunge. Yeah.
What? What's it called? Grunge? Wearing plaid?
Yes.
Wearing plaid is a grunge
We've
thing?
made fun of Brian for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that because I like plaid. I wear like a plaid red.
Well, let me give you
Flannel plaid.
plaid. Yeah.
That's I like flannel plaid.
But as a baggy, let me give you a sample. Like, this is hilarious. My wife always says, I don't know if we would have gotten together earlier. I don't know if we would have been like a good pair. In college, it was not uncommon for me to be rocking long johns.
What's a long johns?
Long underwear?
Thermal underwear, like thermal underwear.
Yeah.
Probably high top Chuck Taylors, a pair of cut off army fatigues, cargo army fatigues, a t-shirt, and a flannel shirt. That was me.
That's an
in
awful
college,
outfit.
Sounds
man.
about right.
Yeah,
It was,
that sounds
I mean,
very 90s. Don't get
It
me
was
wrong,
super
yeah.
90s.
That's hilarious.
All right, music
Music one? Okay, I
Gen
got
Z
you.
here. I won't know this.
I feel like you would. If you loved the chart-topping single "Radioactive," you had this band to thank for it.
Okay, I do know this one.
Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
They remind me.
Imagine me drag.
Dragging these nuts?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
They remind me of so Hootie and the Blowfish in the '90s came out, right? And
Yeah.
were huge, and then just like Nickelback came out. Huge, and then there's this weird turn where suddenly, things that were incredibly popular, people hate.
Can I say
hate it.
something? I love Nickelback. Nickelback is top 5 greatest band of
you
all
wouldn't
time.
say-
They're really one of those, we talked before about when we were talking about our playlist.
Yeah.
And there was, I don't remember the song, but we were having a discussion that was this a good song really, and will it endure?
Yeah, right. Will
I
it last,
feel
yeah.
like this is one of those surprise ones. Some of the Nickelback songs.
Photograph?
It's one of those songs that
greatest song ever.
it was loved, it
Yeah.
was hated, and I think we're going to, within the next few years, start seeing it circle back around. And
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad of a
Right.
song.
I stand by my statement that Moves Like Jagger is not a good song. No. That song is not good.
Right.
You say that until it's played at weddings in 10 years.
Everybody's dancing like Jagger,
yeah,
man.
Popular doesn't equal good.
That is true. There's a lot of stuff in the 70s. Look, we looked at your birth year playlist and went,
Yeah,
these songs
that's
suck.
true.
They were
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah. I mean, it's more your formative years, so 10, 12 years after your birth.
Right.
So being born in the 70s, I remember all the stuff from the 80s.
True.
Yes, and I feel like we should have set it back 10 years for all of our playlists, but it's just we were doing it on our birth year, so that was different.
No, it's
but,
interesting to
yeah.
see
But
what
if we
was
were
flowing
talking
through
about-
the airwaves,
yeah.
man, it's bizarre. Some of the
Right.
stuff in the 70s that was a hit.
I feel like songs from 2009 were straight bangers. I'm trying to think of songs that I remember. The Black Eyed Peas were real big during 2009.
Can't stand
You
them.
can't stand.
Can't stand
What's that
them.
one?
What do you hate about the Black Eyed Peas?
All of them. All of them and all the music. I don't like it.
Tonight's the night.
I got a feeling, keep it to yourself. Yeah. Go see a psychiatrist.
What
I
about
don't
that
wanna
one
hear it.
song where they were talking about peace and love in the world and whatnot? What's that one song? You know what I'm talking about? People, what's that one song? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I just told you. No, I don't.
Man. Brian, you know what song I'm talking about.
Back him up here.
I don't know.
I'm not saying they're bad necessarily. I'm saying
I
I
hate
vehemently dislike them.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough.
Which I'm allowed to dislike stuff.
That's fine.
I'm not going to crap on it. I'm going
Yeah.
to say I don't like you
My
because you
Humps
like
was
it.
a stupid song. Yes, that's, you know.
Yeah.
My hump?
Yes.
My hump, my hump, my hump. That
My
song?
lovely lady lumps. Come
Who
on.
sang that
is
song?
the-
Who sang that song? Like, actually.
Aren't we talking about the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
so.
Wait, they made that song?
Yes.
See, I knew the song, I just didn't know they made it. That's
Yes,
hilarious.
that was Fergie's joint on there.
All right.
Speaking of this era of music, before we move on, I just watched a TikTok with a certain famous wrestler. I'm turning my wrestling coin here. Ching. He said that he was when he was still getting started and stuff. There was a 50 Cent song
Yeah.
in the club,
Duck Club.
Yes.
Yes.
In
In
Duck
Duck
Club.
Club.
In Duck Club.
and they would play music for as a family member, as a cousin or something, and they were like the family barometer as to whether music was good or not. And he did this move that one of the guys in the music video does, and he's just like, "What are you doing?" He's just like, "Oh, I just like that's just like the move for this song."
Yeah.
He's like, "That's goofy looking." And then he
Before
was
TikTok
dared
dances.
to do it.
On stage?
Yeah, he's like, I bet you won't do that in the ring.
Yeah.
And the move was like somebody just going, "Oh,
Oh, is this John Cena?
it's John Cena's move."
Oh,
He
no way.
And I've just been doing this dare for the past few decades
That's
now.
hilarious.
And I just went, never would have guessed that 50
Yeah.
Cent was involved in this, in the 5 Knuckle Shuffle. Never would have guessed.
What?
That's great.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
He goes
knuckle
the 5 Knuckle Shuffle, and then he
Oh.
freaking drops the elbow.
Yeah.
because the knuckle shuffle used to be a euphemism for masturbating.
No way. Yes. No way. That's hilarious.
Did not know
Five
that
knuckle
either.
shuffle. Yeah,
see,
that's-
that's cool.
I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
John Cena's in the ring like this. Evil John Cena be like,
Oh yeah, he's not. He's
Not family
I think
friendly. Yeah.
I think I met him in an H Mart.
Don't mind me, just doing the 5 knuckle shuffle at the urinal. That's
yeah,
fine.
that's
the
so
wizz trough.
funny. That's pretty good. That's good.
Who did everybody grieve over the death of this Animal Planet host in 2006?
This is Steve Irwin.
There
Steve
you go.
Irwin.
Everybody, he's timeless.
I
Yeah.
think he's on the same level. Now he died before them, but like popularity wise, Pee Wee Herman, it's just like
Yes.
Richard Simmons. They're these weird, like everybody loved them, but they weren't like always in the media. They weren't
Right.
being, you know.
No, I guess
Also,
they did their
They're
thing.
just weird pop
Big
culture
pause
people.
real quick. Did you guys see that news recently about Pee Wee Herman being gay? Like he came out
in a
posting-
documentary. There's
Yes.
a documentary, and they let that revelation
Right.
get loose that everybody to
And
which
everybody just
said.
went,
So
yeah,
then it
yeah.
leads me to my question: why was he at that theater?
We don't
I was-
know what was filming. We're not sure what's.
Nah,
you
fair
know,
enough.
was-
Fair enough. Didn't know what kind of channel was on at the time. but,
I'm not sure.
He was watching 5 Knuckle Shuffle Part 4.
Oh my god! Yes, that's it.
He goes, one more to the last knuckle.
After the story gets set up in the trilogy, man, the fourth
Yeah.
one really
Yeah.
puts the story
Yeah,
in a new
that's
When
direction.
they introduced the Pinky, couldn't believe it. Favorite character.
Oh, hard they're gonna do a reboot in honor of Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast before, but we talked a lot about Pee Wee Herman. I feel like
He's
and
interesting.
He is. He's a strange guy. I feel.
So we did talk, because during the TV show brackets, we watched the theme song, and we talked about the fact that Cyndi Lauper sang it.
Yes.
A new revelation to me is that lead singer of Oingo Boingo,
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman, composed it.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he wrote the song.
So Danny Elfman wrote the Pee Wee Herman show, Pee Wee's
Theme-
Playhouse theme song, and Cyndi Lauper sang it.
And I think both uncredited, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's totally cool. All right, I got to watch that documentary. But yeah,
Yeah.
that to me was like, out of all of the things that this documentary reveals, like
Yeah.
I don't think that shocked anybody. Kind of like,
Yeah, I was like, oh, really?
like,
Who would have
Met
thought?
with an overwhelming. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I think
Yeah.
that's why nobody talked about it so much because it was
Right.
like we all assumed that he
I think
won.
everybody did. I mean,
Yeah.
who cares? I
Yeah.
guess that's
First of all, yeah, nowadays, who cares?
Who
And
cares,
second of
yeah.
all, we just go, go watch
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. It doesn't matter if he's gay. Who
Right.
cares?
Right. Okay. Oh, here's a good one for you guys. What TV show featured two brothers who try to make the most out of summer by building various projects?
Will that
Come on.
Phineas and
Yes,
Ferb?
it would be
Okay.
Phineas and Ferb. I was like, you've seen enough of it.
I just saw the next season. I think the fifth
The
season.
new one that they're
is
coming out.
in the summer.
Yeah.
They got everybody back, all the original
Really?
characters.
Ashley Tisdale's back.
Yes.
Too? Oh, that's great.
Because I'm
Love
like,
that.
how could you swap out any of those voices? I mean, it's funny from watching it. I probably know more than
So wait, hold on. Did you guys hear about the drama about the show creator? He apparently he apparently cheated on his wife with some intern girl, and they got a divorce. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's
Yeah.
one of those things. He's
Old.
He's not on camera. It's a domestic problem that shouldn't have any effect on.
Well, he's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah.
Well, he's a creator. I mean, yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was one of the
Yeah,
voices
no,
as
he's
well.
voices too. So
Yeah.
We've talked about this, that as big of a Disney fan as I am, this is one of those things that I don't want anything to do with.
I've created the cheat on your wife editor, and it will cheat on all the wives in the tri-state areas.
Works perfectly.
yeah.
Doesn't get you out of the consequences. Strangely enough.
That's weird though. Like people's personal lives
Yeah.
versus their, I was looking at the list of Grammy winners, which
Uh-huh.
Grammys don't really mean anything
No,
anymore.
yeah.
I mean, I was underwhelmed. But Chris Brown won a Grammy for something.
No way.
I'm like, this guy beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Yeah.
You're still giving
Rihanna.
rewards.
That's
Rihanna.
it, Rihanna.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was very. I mean,
That's messed up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, how do you divorce the person from the art?
Listen, man. Being a Kanye fan, it's real hard. It's real hard.
Oh, especially now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially this day and age. If nobody's seen the tweet yet,
Get the
look
man
up.
some psychiatric
He
help.
refused it, man. He refused to be on meds because he thinks that being off meds allow him to be more into the art and create better art. So,
If art is racism, sure.
Yes.
Guess
It's like,
so.
yeah.
you know,
who
If
knows?
art's being Hitler, as
Yes.
he claims, then
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It's so weird, man. I don't know. It's like every time he does something crazy, it's always in the back of my mind. It's just like he made graduation, he made late registration. That's all that matters to me.
It doesn't. That's what I mean. Where do you?
But I do think like going forward, it should be a canon thing where we all just widely accept that Kanye West died in like 2012 or like
And let me stop you. You're using new slang that I think
What do you mean?
graduation?
Yeah, that's an album.
Oh.
What
Oh,
do you
This
I
sounds
see.
the way that everybody keeps referring to it, it's just like he's already graduated, he's already been
Oh.
good,
no.
and now he can be canceled
No,
anyway.
that
No,
was
no.
his first album, and it was.
No,
that's,
I
Late
think-
Registration was his first album. Graduation was the one with
Okay.
Homecoming on it and singing about Chicago. And
I think we should turn it into that.
Well,
I think because of his nonsense, I think that should become what that means now.
like where
Like you've made
He's graduated,
graduation.
you've graduated,
I
you've
think
gone-
other celebrities now can also make graduation after they're like, hey, you've done something really cool and now you screwed up royally and you're
Yeah.
not coming back from it.
yeah
You've also made
you
graduation.
graduated from the public eye.
graduated.
Because I kept seeing it online and I went, I don't
See-
listen to Kanye, so I don't know, but that's
Yes.
how my brain took it, and I
Right.
think I'm onto something.
Okay,
but,
well, there you
so
go.
I will say this: that
It
is
works.
a term. Graduation is a term that is used as like not so much as like, oh, this guy made some cool stuff and now they're a bad person. So
K-pop?
and VTubers.
Yes, we
So-
talked about, and that's why I think my brain latched onto it,
Yes.
because we have mentioned
They
it. After they
graduate?
age out,
After they age out, is they have graduated. Yes.
we have
age
talked
out.
about it. You asked, you go, what are they when they... We talked about Menudo.
yes,
You
Yeah,
go,
they
Menudo,
graduate.
all
Yeah,
around. It's like,
they-
well, what happens
yeah.
whenever they age out?
Yeah.
And you just,
They
Winston
have-
had
they
said
graduated,
they have
yeah.
graduation.
Yes, they've had
So
the
I think that's why
puberty.
my brain's connected this.
Right.
But
They have like a graduation concert and whatnot. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think if it's not a general term, I think it's now my term.
It should-
I think
it
I'm
should, yeah.
going to continue to use
You
that.
should make it a term. Everybody who watched this episode should make it a term. That'd
Start
be cool.
using made graduation.
They graduated. They're no longer in the public eye.
Exactly. All right. Here's one more for you guys. What was Korean pop music called? We all know the answer. I just like
K-pop. K-pop?
Yes, K-pop. It is K-pop. Yep. I just thought it was cool that it's here, so I was like, we'll use it.
It's in print. It's a real thing.
I got my last one. What if someone was being extra? How are they acting?
They're doing too much.
Yeah, trying too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's worse than is somebody who refers to themselves as extra. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. God, insufferable people.
All right, this one I'm throwing out. We can put these away, but I just want this is Chuck and Tony's classic rock cred.
Okay.
What band included Chuck and John Panozzo, Tommy Shaw, James J.Y. Young, and Dennis DeYoung?
I don't keep track. I'm so bad with names to begin with, and I don't keep track of. Give me a song.
If I give you a song, it will totally give it away. I will give you a
Okay.
hint before I give you the song. They had a lot of 70s success with great classic rock songs, and then they got weird in the 80s, and they ended up kicking out their lead singer, Dennis DeYoung.
Boston. I don't know.
Close. I don't know why. Their 80s tune was Mr. Roboto.
Oh, Styx.
Styx, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the lead singer got
Yeah.
like so out there
Yeah.
that they like booted him. And
That's
like
hilarious.
because they roll into the 80s. They're a classic rock band.
Right.
They roll into the 80s and this dude suddenly wants to make like rock operas about robots and like space stuff.
So did he?
But it got. I mean, he did. But that's one of their most popular songs.
so maybe
And
he
al-
was ahead of them.
This is also following in the footsteps of Queen, who was making rock. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody is a rock opera.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a weird song that's
the
very
first-
popular, but
Yeah.
that just seems strange because they just went, okay, well, let's follow a trend of something that's already popular
Right.
and we can do well. And then
Yeah.
people love it and they go, hey, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's so weird because the first time I heard Bohemian Rhapsody, I was like, this song sucks.
What?
But the first time ever I heard it, I thought it was such a weird song. I was not into the opera stuff.
I can see
But-
where you're going because
Oh,
it's
man.
all over.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
a
over the
very
place.
incohesive song.
Yes.
Oh yeah, as a
But
kid.
then-
Oh man, I heard that when
On
I
a
was younger.
first time listen,
Oh,
I would
loved it.
also have been like,
Yeah.
Weird.
Because remember, I've never listened to Queens at this point, and one of my buddies
Okay.
goes, "Have you ever heard of Queens? You got to check the song out." And I'm like, "Sure." So he showed me Bohemian Rhapsody because obviously their biggest song. I'm like, "Man, this song sucks." He was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't like it." So the very next song he played for me was "Don't Stop Me Now." Right? Is that the name of it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's a good one.
Weird. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you go We Will Rock You or
we're the
'Cause-
champions.
Yeah. But he played Don't Stop Me Now, and I really like Don't Stop Me Now because
Okay.
of how quick the pace is. And then we got to We Will Rock You and We Are Champion, and I knew those songs because everybody know those songs.
Right.
And I know We Are the Champion because of Chicken Little. So that's why I know of Queens.
And then he showed you Fat Bottom Girls. He's
Yeah, I
going,
haven't
what
heard
is this
that one.
band? What is this band
Yeah.
doing?
Oh,
haven't
man,
heard
yes.
Fat Bottom
Oh,
Girls.
Fat Bottom Girls is great.
Yeah?
It is a rockin' tune.
I got to listen to
You gotta
that.
listen to
It's
that,
even funnier once you realize like Freddie Mercury didn't
It's
like
gay,
the
yeah.
ladies.
He's in the same camp as Pee Wee Herman. Yeah.
Yes.
Or George, I was going to say George Michaels.
Yeah.
Right.
See, the George Michael thing is surprising to me because when I found out he was gay, I'm like, there's no way. Like, this guy was like the coolest freaking dude ever. But it was like,
people can't be
Guess
the
what?
dude
People
ever.
said the same thing about Freddie Mercury.
yeah, he was so cool that he went the opposite way. Like, he did a full loop around.
Well, George Michael really tried to not
Show that he was
his,
gay.
Yeah, his image. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I want
He was
your
like a
sex
Playboy
like
type
that.
guy. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they, you
That's
know,
like if Justin Timberlake were to come out gay right now, I'd be like, well, that's surprising. Like, I
well,
can't.
it's a different story now.
Was
Yeah.
that ever thought of Elton John? Was everybody like, oh, he's just a cool ladies man? And they went, oh, he's gay? Or
Yeah,
was
I
it
don't-
always just sort of like, he's sort of...
Well, wasn't
fruity?
he always flamboyant?
Yeah, flamboyant and over the edge. I don't know. I
I
don't know.
mean, it's not necessarily a Liberace situation where you just go, there's no way this dude's normal.
Yeah.
You go, the ladies love him, but everybody knows.
So did the fellas.
The ladies love him because they know they can't have him.
Exactly. That's
Does it bother you when I'm gonna go back
gay
to?
people? No.
Oh
Do we have to cut that out?
no! No, but staying in for sure. Talking about "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions,"
Yeah.
which is basically two halves of the same song. It rolls right into "We Are
does,
the Champions."
yeah.
Yes.
Does it bother you like it bothers me when you hear just one of them on the
Oh
radio?
yeah.
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 Especially when you hear just "We Will Rock You," and
Are
then
they-
it fades out, and you just go,
Yeah.
"Wah." where's the rest of the song?
Yeah, they're back-to-back tracks, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, yeah. Like
It's just like, we
the
will
end of
rock
it,
you,
yeah.
and then they rock you, and they win, and
Yeah.
then they're the champions. It's the
Right.
same. It's like
So if
Tony
you're-
does not want to be rocked unless he's also the champion. That's
you
what
don't
he's
want to be a
saying.
loser,
Yeah.
essentially. No, I get it.
yeah, and they really just freaking blue ball you on the radio sometimes,
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Another
Yeah.
one classic.
They can only afford one song, bro. That's
Led Zeppelin, Heartbreaker, Livin' Lovin' Made. That was
Okay.
another one that went together. I mean, I don't know that you have it anymore, but like there used to be. I don't listen to the radio anymore, but there used to be on classic rock stations at night. They would have Get the Lead Out,
Oh yeah.
and they would play like 3 or 4 Led Zeppelin songs in a row.
I think I only know one Led Zeppelin song.
And that took up the entire hour block.
Right.
Oh, because
The
they're so
live version-
freaking long.
so
yeah.
Live version of Dazed and Confused. Yes.
Yeah, I only know Immigrant Song. That's Led Zeppelin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always
Because of it was in what movie?
it was in Thor.
Thor, yeah.
Ragnarok,
It's-
yep.
I feel like a lot of my classic rock comes from movie. Like that's how I know of these songs. Otherwise, like I wouldn't have known We Are the Champion if it wasn't for Chicken Little. Like,
That's
I'm being
crazy.
so
And
genuine.
apparently, that's funny about Zeppelin because apparently they are very, very picky. They don't
Really?
they don't let their stuff be used in a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
So in School of Rock with Jack Black,
Yeah.
there's a segment with Led Zeppelin, and I saw this on the making of or whatever.
Yeah.
They took like in the final concert scene, they took the entire cast and everybody there, filmed like a plea to the guys of Led Zeppelin of like, please,
Let
grant
us use-
permission
yeah,
for the
yeah.
use of it, and they
Yeah.
did in,
That's
in
really
School
cool.
of Rock.
Yeah.
So
That apparently is why Wayne's World is not really shown, because one of the
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, so they're in a guitar store and he starts playing Stairway to Heaven,
Yeah.
and they just go, "Hey, knock that off!" and point, and there's
Yeah.
a sign. It says
It's
no stairway.
to Heaven. Yeah.
And it's
Well,
such
they-
a like big part of the movie that can't be played because they can't
Right.
play the song.
No, they did it.
They did in the movie,
the
but
theatrical, and then when it was released, they changed it, and
Oh,
the
really?
joke didn't make any sense because he's not playing Stairway.
they don't show it on TV or anything because of that, and it's why it's just
Oh.
like it's sort of falling into obscurity because it can't be played anywhere
So,
anymore.
so
Man,
the Stairway
such a-
to Heaven thing, I always thought because they call it the Forbidden Song at the Guitar Center, and I didn't know that was because of Wayne's World.
Yep.
There was a TikTok of some guy going to the Guitar Center, and he was like, "Hey, I really want to try out this guitar," and the guy's plugging it up in the amp, and he started playing, and he was like, "You gotta get out," and he was
Yep.
like, "You gotta leave," and I never understood that why, but somebody in the comment was like, "Well, that's because the song was very generic, and a lot of people like it was
no,
an
no,
overplay."
no.
I didn't know that.
No, it was
yeah.
big
because
joke.
that was a song.
Yeah.
Go back my age and a little bit earlier when
Yeah.
people were learning how to play guitar. You wanted to learn how to play Stairway to Heaven.
Really?
Yeah, I had older friends
Yeah.
that lived down the street from me, and they're like, "You gotta hear Stairway to Heaven." And so like we go, and we're like down in his room chilling, and like dim the lights,
Yeah.
and like we're like chilling back on pillows, and it's like starts off.
Beanbag couch, yeah.
And you listen to it, and I mean, it is an expansive song. I'm
It
a
is.
huge Led Zeppelin fan. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
one of my favorite Led Zeppelin
Really?
songs. Yeah, it's a good song, but
I can't imagine doing that situation today.
Well, you tell somebody to come over to listen.
That situation today is now like, hey, let me show you this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, what are you about to? I don't want to sit here
That's
through whatever
it.
this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
It's
is
like,
what it
let
feels
me
like
just
to-
show you this 35-minute long video on my phone, and let's
Yeah.
just sit here together.
and
and
Stairway's
watch it.
like 8 minutes or something. I mean, it's a
Oh,
long.
yeah, man,
And it's
long
exactly
song.
it. You just
Yeah.
go, you got to come over and listen to this song. You're like, okay. You're like, what have I gotten myself
Yeah.
into?
Do you like sit there and talk?
No.
Throughout?
You're not
No,
allowed.
That's
you
that's
sit
a
there
weird.
and listen to the
just
song, man.
8 minutes of silence, just chilling.
Well, you listen to the song. It starts off slow, and then it builds, and then it really
Yeah.
kicks in, and
And then once the song ends, everyone flicks the like back on. It was like, oh, let's talk about this. Like that's what you do.
No, I don't know that we talked about it, but it was just
Brian
like
just
you-
went,
All right, see you guys
All right,
later.
That was cool. Let's lay out.
big
Like,
gulps, huh?
Yeah.
All right, see you later. This is what this happened.
I mean, yeah, it was. But that song was like,
Yeah.
you have to hear this
Yeah.
song. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Well,
It's a good song. But
Yeah, I definitely think like that is a result of our attention span getting like
Oh, yeah.
way shorter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to have you come over, sit next to me in silence.
Yep.
and then
While
we're
we
just gonna-
listen to this, yeah.
Maybe if it was on vinyl, you'd have the album cover.
Right. You can read through the lyrics. Yeah.
Well, Wayne's World sort of reminds me of our set today. It's real public access. But
That was a question. That was a question. Go ahead though.
speaking of movies, I'm gonna roll credits.
Yeah.
Is it time to roll
I'm
credits?
gonna
man.
wrap us up here. Hey, thanks for joining us. This is episode 50. We've made it 50 episodes, which is crazy because we started this on a whim, and the fact that we got past 7 is pretty great. If you've listened or watched, thank you. Please like and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Tell a friend. I always say it, but we're at episode 50. More viewers or listeners would be great.
Should we give shout out to our international friends while we're at it?
We can. We get a lot of international people, so if you're listening overseas, not in America,
Email us.
Yeah, please.
we got an email at podcastxyz@gmail.com. Remember, if you're listening somewhere, downloads help more than streams, but we still like you. We've got our Instagram where we post previews and news. We've got our YouTube channel, which if you're watching, that's probably where you're watching. On YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, we have started posting social media clips. So if you just want to try to get somebody interested, go ahead and send them a clip. Otherwise, we've got merch. We've got links to all the stuff that we talk about. So if we reference something, if you don't, Brian's
Still dying.
still a bit sick. If you want to figure out where to watch Wayne's World, since we mentioned it, I probably posted a link on Winston's watch and listen list. He's not going to watch or listen to it, but you could.
It's so good.
So good. So you can check all of that out on our home on the web, podcastxyz.podbean.com. And with that, we'll see everybody next time.
See you later.
See ya.